What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fully Spooled. I've been working on my new motor mounts the last week or so, and they're turning out really well. So this will be next episode for sure, where I make these and then install them. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, all these boxes came in, and what kind of car guy would I be if I didn't just dig in to whatever this stuff is? Obviously, this is a seat, judging by the shape of the box. This hopefully is the bracket for the seat, or this will be a super short episode. And then this should be hardware, and this actually might be a knock sensor. But anyway, I'm going to do an unboxing of this stuff and then get it all installed. This is the PROCAR Drifter Seat by Scat Manufacturing out of, I think, Redondo Beach, California. Yeah. I was curious about this seat for a couple reasons. Mostly, it's really cheap, and I couldn't figure out why it was so cheap because I haven't found any negative reviews on this seat anywhere. The worst thing I read was like, it's good for the money or whatever. But so I thought I'd give it a shot. It's $188 shipped with side mount brackets and sliders, which is like unheard of. It's not FIA certified, but for my skill level, which is nothing, I figured non-FIA is fine for now, and later on I'll move this to the passenger seat and then get a regular, you know, FIA certified seat if I ever decide to compete, or if I'm at a track that, you know, requires an FIA seat. The cheapest FIA approved seat that I could find was like $400, plus you would have to add brackets on top of that and hardware, and for all of that I'm paying a third of the price to at least get the car on the track and driving so I can start learning, and I can use that extra money for things like a new steering wheel and a quick release hub and that kind of stuff. Well, the box has certainly seen better days, but hopefully the seat inside's all right. Seems all right. Well, it's a seat, and it's the right color. Well, it definitely has removable panels, which is a good thing because that means you can keep it clean. There's all this Velcro. Hey, you know what? It's pretty nice, actually. Honestly, for the money, that's pretty freaking nice. And I fit great. Well, it's the right color. There's no damage anywhere that I can see. It is a fiberglass shell, by the way, with the side mount brackets down here, removable pads, and it has holes here for the top of the, like a 4 or 5 point harness. It has 2 side holes, and then there's a 5th hole in the bottom for the submarine belt. So I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. So here's a close-up for the texture. They call it velour. It's kind of a, like, I don't know, not quite vinyl, not quite like polyester. It's kind of a weird texture, but it does feel like it'll last a long time, which is great. So yeah, these pads all come out, and it's Velcro. Same for the bottom ones. And there's the submarine hole. Like I said, it's a fiberglass back. Let's see if I can get this stuff to come off here. Here's the back. It's a little bit of wear here from rubbing up against something, but not the end of the world. All in all, I think I have to agree. For the money, not too bad. I'm really hoping this is my bracket. Yeah. So that was easy to ship. So here's the bracket. It's a planted bracket, 140 bucks, and I got it shipped with a $10 discount from Andy's Auto Sport for, I think it was $141 shipped. So that's really awesome. It's like maybe 4 pounds. It's like super lightweight. And I went with planted because, yes, it's more expensive than like a wedge bracket, for example, but they have really good reviews, and apparently they all just bolt right in with no having to like drill new holes or bend tabs or anything. So, cool. Let's get this guy installed. Oh, I also bought hardware, which was sold by Planted, so I'm not having to like go to Home Depot and, you know, get a bunch of random bolts and stuff. So these are Planted's official screws that will attach the seat to the bracket. And then I just realized that my car didn't come with seats, and I'm pretty sure I don't have the bolts that hold this to the floor. All right, well, hopefully I can still get this guy installed even without the, that's a mess. Well, as it turns out, whoever bought these seats from the previous owner also took the bolts for the seats. So thankfully I found 4 bolts from the engine bay somewhere that fit the holes. So I'll use these for this video, and then later on I'll make a trip to the junkyard to pick up new bolts for the passenger and driver seats. But for now, I'll just use these guys. Alright, so now that it's all kind of cleaned up here, we can fit the bracket. Goes like that, roughly. Well, that fits really, really well. It's actually a little bit higher than I thought it would be, but I'm sure it's still lower than the factory seat would be. Alright. Alright, well, I should sit in it first to see where my seating is going to be. This is actually really cool because I've never sat in this car before, ever. You know, I bought it with no seats, so this is the first time that I'll ever actually sit in my soon-to-be race car. So actually, I'm really excited about this. If I don't kill myself getting in. Oh. Well. Oh shit. That is really high. That is way higher than I thought it would be. Well. Oh, I can adjust it. Oh, okay. Not sure if you can tell on the camera, but this thing sits pretty high. Actually, that's a good probably like 2 inches or so off of the lower bracket there. So I was thinking, how could I lower this thing, but I can't. And then I realized that the seat itself actually has 3 settings. So I can actually lower it 2 more, I don't know, maybe like inches or so. This might be just enough to let me sit lower and not hit my head on the ceiling. All right, let's try this out. Round 2. Well, it's a little bit better, but my head is still really close to the roof. I have my helmet here. Well, it does clear, but barely. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to leave this bolt in place and move this bolt up top here, which hopefully will let me pull the seat up above this lip. So this piece right here will go over the bracket. That way I can slide the whole seat back, giving me more headroom. Hopefully that works, and I can leave my sunroof in place. I hope this works. Oh, it slides back. Yes. All right. It's great. Oh. All right, so my head now fits perfectly. I have to bolt this thing on. My head fits, my feet fit, I can slide back and forth. This is amazing, this is perfect. I'm gonna bolt this down once I figure out where it needs to be. Wow, this is so awesome. So I'm thinking this should be pretty much right where it is. So I gotta figure out where the holes are on the bottom. Let's give it a shot. Well, as is often the case in my life, nothing's really working out the way it's supposed to. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to drill my own holes in the planted bracket because it doesn't have enough holes exactly where they need to be on the seat bracket. So that's really annoying. All right, so I put the seat back in the car again, and I measured it, and it looks like I can fit it right here, and actually one of the holes do line up for both the seat and the bracket. So the back's figured out. Now I got to figure out if there's a hole in the front that matches up. So I need to drill a hole right around here in the bracket, in the seat bracket. So that's what I'm gonna do. I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of drilling holes. Not a lot of fun. It's a good thing I put this steel behind there because that's where this one just hit, and that's where the first one just hit. So that just saved my fiberglass. I almost forgot to mention, but this seat does come with sliders as well. And these are your standard kind of stamped metal slider with a handle and then hardware. So, you know, I'm not going to be using these myself on this car, but I figured in case somebody out there is researching this seat and wanted to know what the sliders looked like, here they are. All right, final impressions on the seat. Without actually driving the car, I'm happy with it. I wish it were a little bit lower, which really comes down to the bracket being too high. So I might modify it at some point to make it a little bit lower or figure out something else in the future. But other than that, the seat itself is awesome. I'm really excited about it. It's comfortable. It fits me well. You know, the harness holes are the perfect height for my body. I'm 6'2", about 195, and it fits me perfectly. So all in all, I'm really happy about this. I'm really excited. This is the first time I've sat in this car in a real seat before. So, you know, I'm stoked. So coming up next will be the engine mounts being finished and installed finally, and then after that will be the fuel system, welding the differential, and then firing it up, well, wiring, and the body being rebuilt, and some other rear brakes. Other than that, we're getting really close to firing it up. So thanks for watching. Check out my social media links at the end of the episode, and that's it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.